I don't want to be on here for forever. I actually want to get work done.
Okay.
Okay. I don't want to wear myself out with this. That's what I'm trying to say. You know what? Actually, no. We're going to just do whatever happens because we're not even in prime position to be productive the way we want to until I think Sunday.
Yeah, I think
And
Sunday.
I feel it. I really genuinely
Yeah.
feel
Yeah.
it. This stuff is real, yo. Like,
That made a lot of sense when I saw that video. I was like, yeah.
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 It's just it's just been a struggle. Like I have though been like really good at like planning and organizing and thinking of what to do, but actually
But
getting
doing
it
it,
done.
mm-mm. Doing anything has just been such a,
Doing anything has been so hard.
just so much. It's just
So
like,
hard.
I just want to like lay in
That
bed.
for the first time today, because I usually be ready to come to school. I was just like, I just want to lay here with my dog. And it was the way he was acting too. Like, don't you just want to lay here with me? So this is
That's been the
cool.
vibes. That's been the vibes. Ugh.
Okay. I think it's is someone here? I could never tell who's here. It just Oh, this is what I want to try today.
Okay.
Because you said you couldn't see people's comments.
Yeah.
And I think that they can pop up on the screen. Is that Christina? Hey. But how do I do it? I saw it before. Do I have to do it before I get on here? How? Oh, oh, I gotta click each one. Yeah, yeah, I gotta click each one. I
Mm.
thought it was a way to do it automatically.
There
I
might be.
think there is, but I think I might have had to.
Do it before you got live.
Yeah. Wait, let me see. Mm, yeah, I think so. Well, let's see. Hmm, comments. Oh, that's just to take them away. Oh, we could private chat each other. Hey, girl, let's see if this works. Do you see that?
Yeah.
I really like this platform. Okay, so I'm just going to attempt to like just
I
post.
think I can see the comments on. Okay. I think I have to click the chat and then just go over to comments. But I'm not sure if I'm seeing Christina's comment because you like clicked on
Did
it.
that. Okay,
Yeah.
we'll test it.
Okay.
Christina, say something else. And anybody else who's here, we're still experimenting with this platform. And we don't plan on ever being like super, super duper professional until it's time to be.
Yeah.
Until we have other people who are professionals in this industry that will start doing this stuff for us, which might be very soon. Yeah, girl, come and help us, please. Christina, post something. Are you in a spot where you can post? I see all these people coming into the chat on Instagram, but they're not coming over here. Uh-oh, what happened to you? Oh no, what happened? Oh, she got kicked out, I guess. Okay, Christina is being a problem child and not posting nothing. Okay. What happened?
I was trying to.
Click around.
Yeah. I clicked out. So I can see the comments, but I would have to log into my YouTube through StreamYard.
Oh no, we ain't doing all that.
Yeah, it was a lot.
I'll just play with like posting comments that make sense to post. Like, because I know I have been reading a comment and then you can't see it, so you don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So even if you have to kind of remind me, oh, let's see the comment. Okay, so like Nikki just came in. Can you see that comment?
Let's see. Yeah, I can.
Okay, cool.
I just have to click into it. It won't come up automatically.
It won't come up on it. But now if I do this, everyone sees it. It's gonna be seen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. I can do this. So, all right, welcome everyone. I just said I didn't want to be here for a long time. Then I took it back because honestly, this might be one of the last YouTubes where I'm like feeling like I'll be here for a long time because I got stuff to do, y'all. And as fun as these chats be, after I'm done, I'll be so tired and I can't do anything else. So this might be the last little free for all for a while. You know, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But anyway, welcome back to Office Hours now on YouTube. I still do have the post. I still have Instagram Live going, but it's hopefully just here to direct you to YouTube because, you know, once I'm made up my mind about something, I pretty much stick with it. Now, StreamYard does have the capability to stream to both, but that's an upgrade. So I ain't ready for that either. But so we're back. I know last time happy Hobie Day in the United States and wherever his birthday is still being celebrated, which is the perfect reminder of what I said I was going to talk about this week. So I was talking about how every Hobie Day, Hobie always blesses me with something special. And it hasn't failed me yet. I can really count on this man being like, go ahead, enjoy yourself on my birthday, girl. From Big Daddy. You just think of me when you enjoy yourself. So so if Janet Jackson wasn't enough, it's D'Angelo for me. It's this announcement about D'Angelo, y'all. Y'all, listen. I love BTS, but I've only been knowing these people for 3 years. Okay. And as soon as I got to know them, they showed up immediately. They didn't make me wait 3 months for them. D'Angelo. I don't even know that man's last name. What's D'Angelo's last name? I don't even know his last name. That's a shame. I have been waiting for this man for 25 years. Okay? I have been a fan of his for 25 years. And he's still on the East Coast. It ain't like he just showed up. He really making me work for it. But it's the fact that, you know, I have posted.
Use that magic, girl.
You know, I needed some help. I needed Hobie's help on this, honestly. Because, listen, on my own, it wasn't working. But, yeah, so at the very beginning of the year, I think I just saw a random post of D'Angelo, and I just start doing my thing where I just start speaking things that be not as though they were. Right? And so I said, but we have been really working on our language. We've been like fine-tuning our language because so much of fandoms and fangirling is putting them on a pedestal as if, oh, the whole desire is to meet them. But we've been like switching that. So anybody who's a student of mine in terms of manifestation and magnetism, try this, okay? You have equal footing in the spiritual realm as your favorite celebrity, as anybody else on this planet. There's nobody higher than you. There's really nobody lower than you. So instead of being like, I'm going to see J-Hope, Beyonce, D'Angelo, I literally said, I might let him catch me this year. I said he's been eluding me, but I said, but I might let him catch me. So that was me taking what has been a form of lack, scarcity, and flipping that. Because as frustrated as I am, I still have faith and trust that I've been this man's fan for a reason. He still has a lot more music to make. He still has a lot more concerts to do. And I very well could be there. You know what I'm saying? Let me pay attention. Hey, girl. Hey, you late. Though I was trying to get you to help me test. Nikki saying, she said, hey, I needed you to say hey again to help us test something out, but it's all good. Hi, Sharon, Nikki. Okay, we have 3 people in the room. All right. So I said that on January 1st. Mm-hmm. Then I ran into now this is another little trick, pro tip of manifestation / magnetism. Anytime you see something that reminds you of the initial intention, you do something with it. You don't just let that slide. That's too wasteful. That's too potent of a synchronicity or I call it a touchstone of faith. Like, you know, you go to church and they'll say, touch your neighbor. To me, that's a touch your neighbor moment. I'm just reactivating the intention, right? So if D'Angelo's showing up and he making me feel some kind of way, oh, that's right. I said, I'm going to let you catch me. Okay. And now maybe this time you put a little bit more into it. So I had put 3 back-to-back stories. I let myself really immerse myself in his presence. And then I said some more slick shit. Like, yeah, you know. Oh, one, I was trying to teach the BTS people that y'all think manifesting BTS is hard. Huh, baby. As stressful as they may seem, as big as a deal as it may seem, because it's just, oh my God, it's so many people. And oh my God, how am I ever going to be one of those people to click fast enough and Ticketmaster and right? Imagine not even having the opportunity, like not even having it come up and available to you because his presence is so rare. And he treats his presence with mystery and rareness, like a fine delicacy that he is. And I still have the faith that I'm gonna see him. So I posted up a few things. And then, of course, this is at the same time that I was learning about my Hispanic heritage. Mm-hmm. My favorite song on his album is Spanish Joint. Mm-hmm. I was like, ain't that something? You put me on to who I was way back then, right? So that now feels like an ancestral thing. Like, those are my ancestors in 2000, letting me come across that song and fall in love with it. Come on now. Like, I'm using all of this as power for the materialization of the intention. And then I say, and this was January 17th. And then I say, I'm just picturing myself in the room when it happens. That part, the picturing yourself there thing, and I don't have to do it for long. I don't have to make it long, drawn out, but it has to be something in my body that goes, yep, I'm there.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, ooh, hallelujah. You know, like you can
feel it.
Sense it. You can feel it, especially when music is playing. That's why I love music and the ability to really use the power of music, because music is such a memory device. So you can use it as a memory of the future.
Yeah.
A memory of a future moment when you're going to look back on that moment and be like, I really saw D'Angelo. I really saw Hobie. I really saw Beyonce. I really saw Janet. Okay. Mm-hmm. 1 month ago, January 17th. Today is February 18th. Yesterday was February 17th. Mm-hmm. The announcement was made February 17th that he was going to be the headliner of a music festival I've always wanted to go to anyway, but I have pretty much been waiting for it to be D'Angelo now. I was like, okay, Roots Picnic, you just got to give me who I want. You know what I'm saying? And then today, now the tickets went on sale, but I'm not rushing in. And here's the reason why. Because it's still not exactly what I want. Okay. When I visualize myself, I said in the room.
Yes.
Music Fest, outdoor space.
Mhm.
Music Fest, it's a whole lot going on other than D'Angelo. Now, I wouldn't turn it down if it works out, but I'm still like, I feel like this is just to whet my appetite and to say, okay, he's starting to get back into the mix, and let me just spend more time thinking through what I really would want to happen. So yeah, Hobie Day. Never
Don't settle for what's not your vision.
You shouldn't do that.
I think that's something that like you gotta work on, because a lot of people are like thinking about like, oh, I really want to see this person, and then they get like the very bare minimum opportunity, and they're like, oh, I have to grab it, and that's scarcity, because you're like, oh, I just gotta grab whatever.
Yeah,
but you gotta keep in mind that what you desire is out there, and you don't settle until you get what you want.
Really want. Yeah, because I think you do have to stair step yourself too, right? Mm-hmm. Like, and what I've been having to admit to myself is that I've been manifesting concerts since I was a kid. You know, like I had to remind myself of all the times as a kid. Like I told you the other day, my godmother, she owned 2 major concert venues in Chicago when I was in grad school. Mm-hmm. But even when I was a kid going to see her in the summer, she was like the limousine driver for a bunch of different celebrities. And I would just find myself, not just at the concert, but like, I remember the occasion where I needed to go to the airport the same day as LL Cool J. And so I was in the same van as LL Cool J being taken to the after seeing him in concert. So you do have to start somewhere, right? And you have to know your own capacity, because you don't want to do what I call blow yourself out, which is you've gone so far past your threshold of belief that you've actually done more damage. So you have to have like, it's kind of like when you're applying for college, they'll say have a safety, have a good fit, and have a reach. Get rid of the safety. Get rid of the safety. Safety is not going at all and be like, oh, I'll be all right. No, you won't. Have a good fit and then have a reach, right? So this is what I was trying to do with Hobie. The good fit is just getting in the building. The good fit is just getting whatever you can grab. Now we're reaching for what we want. And do y'all see how plentiful the tickets are and how every day is somebody selling one and hit go? Okay, that's where I was trying to get us to. So it's similar for me right now. Oh, okay, D'Angelo, that's a good fit. I could make it to Philly. I have 2 places to stay in Philly. Traveling is not an issue, but it's still not my preference. So I'm going to still reach for my preference as well. You know, like you do, it's a both and here. You know, I'll be putting together somewhat of a plan to get to Philly. I'm not going to put a lot of energy into it. And then I'll just be doing more, you know, spiritual work for the reach situation to happen. So I feel like Hobie helped me with that, just because 1, they're both musicians. 2, I called D'Angelo something I would have never called him if I wasn't in BTS fandom. I said my old bias. I heard that term before being in BTS, but that's really who he is to me, you know? And just his birthday weekend is always just so fun-filled. Like since I've met Hobie, or not since I've even he's been my bias, but since I've met him, you know, I ain't missing it. But since I've known, every Hobie birthday is a story. Okay. So bless you. So I think I promised last year, you have to, Lane. Hey girl, how you doing? You have to. That's what BTS is. I really feel like on a spiritual level, one of their skill sets is just bringing diverse groups of people together in community. Yeah. And then they have a gift of making you aim for more for higher, bigger,
Yeah.
better. Because they have done it themselves, and we've gotten to witness what can happen when you actually believe in yourself.
Yep.
And
you
then
put the action
they
in.
What did you say? I'm sorry.
And when you put the action in.
When you put the action in, and then they often are the enticement for trying it out. They become the goal that you work on. Like, okay, because it's not life or death, right? Like if God forbid you don't get to see them, it's not going to affect you. I mean, it would affect me. I'm sorry. I would have needed to see them in my lifetime. But in the big scheme of things, I tried to say, it's not, at the end of the day, if you can't go, it's not a big deal. But they help you have a reason to try. A very compelling reason to try. Okay, I'm gonna try something else because that hey Nikki's still there, and that was like 30 minutes ago. Not. Is it a way to take it away? See, this is why I know that there's a way to do this automatically. Oh, it says hide current comment. Let's see.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Okay, that's a lot of work though. I ain't gonna lie, because I'm talking and so, but let me do this real quick. And then this one. Yeah, this is a lot of work. Whoops. What did I do? Am I still on?
Yeah.
I think something weird. Oh, okay. There we go. I like that comment. Yes, you have to believe. You have to trust. You have to have a compelling vision for something you desire. Okay. BTS, they really give you a lot of practice. You get to really experiment and play with it. And, so last year, now moving from the notion of having what I call is an intention that you set forth and you are really putting action behind to make happen. For me, that's manifestation. But last year, it was more magnetism. I did not put what happened to me. I didn't know that this was going to happen. So it's Hobie's birthday. I don't know what day it fell on, but I remember kind of like, I think we had went and did karaoke, right? I think like on the day before his birthday, we went to go do karaoke. Like I knew I wanted to do something, but I think it was that one time where we just went in the room and just went in for an hour and then left. Remember, we were just checking out the space and then we just left. Yeah. And I remember the very next day I had agreed to babysit my goddaughter, which is not something I do very often. She gets maybe 2 nights, okay, out of the year. And it just happens to be that night because we didn't, make anything happen. And so then I'm at her house. She's asleep now. Her parents are supposed to be coming back, let's say 11:30. And I see a friend of ours in Vegas, a local army, posting pictures of a suite at Mandalay Bay with like other local army. And I was like, what's going on? I was like, this would be the night that I decide to be nice and babysit. And she was like, come on, let's go. Like, I was like, okay, hopefully they come back soon, right? I think they came back in like 45 minutes after that. And when I tell you, I was like, all right, it was real, it's fun, bye. So I get to Mandalay Bay. She comes down and gets me. We go upstairs. I mean, this suite, y'all. I was like, first of all, how did you get a suite? She's like, somebody upgraded me. I have no idea who. Now in Vegas, a lot of people have the family and friends discount situation. I think that's what the situation was. And I think when you're that person, front desk is going to be nice. If it's available, why not? And maybe that's her friend that they like, whatever. So she's like, I don't know how, but that suite was it was the Mandalay Bay, y'all. It's this hotel that is the sister hotel to the hotel that they stayed at when they were here for Permission to Dance. because it's Mandalay Bay is the original structure, and the Delano is the secondary structure, and that's where they stayed. So that room where they was trying to put up the pillows to hide the painting, everyone knows that was the Delano. So the room that she got, as soon as you look outside, you see the Delano on the right hand side, and then the Allegiant Stadium on the left hand side.
Mm.
And not only that, it's Army. So they had the BTS Uno cards. They had, drinks, food. Like it was just, and then that's when the idea was implanted in my mind. Like, this could be a regular thing. Why are we waiting for Hobie's birthday? We could be doing this like every month. Like that's when my mind started going, because we had such a great time. Oh my God, y'all. You would not believe we just got so lit. It was just singing their songs, telling this, retelling the story of becoming Army, having those those moments of connection where only people in Army can, understand. It was just, and then, the person who paid for the room got the bed, and the rest of us just it was a huge place. So I ended up on the couch. Another person ended up on the couch, and we just had a wonderful night. And so, but one of the craziest things that happened after it was all over, leaving the hotel the next day, I'm on my way back home. And because in the last few years, license plates have all of a sudden become these like omens and oracles for me, like majorly so. I'm on the street. So Mandalay Bay is off of Russell. I'm on Russell going towards the Allegiant Stadium because I live that way. And I have my phone for whatever reason, like near me, and the license plate in front of me says Army. Blue eyes. And I was like, okay, Hobie, you can stop being spooky. But seriously, it was that last little bit, because now the license plate thing, I don't play with those. When I see them and it makes sense, I'll be like, okay. Who's talking to me right now? So, and it was, and I'm looking at the license plate, and Allegiant Stadium is in the background. I mean, y'all can't, I'm sorry. What kind of coincidence is that? I don't believe in that no more. I really don't. No. Now, when stuff like that usually happens to me, I literally be feeling like it's God or the ancestors. That is the first time I ever felt like it was a real human being on the other side of the planet. And this is what I was alluding to last week, is I really do believe in the connection you have with them, and especially the connection you have with your bias. And it feels very similar to like what I said, my connection to God, like source, the divine, the all that is, the most high. And then the ancestors, which I'm really starting to feel very connected to them, y'all. It's really crazy. But now I'm like, it has a lot of similarities to stuff that I've been experiencing with BTS.
Yeah.
And not just BTS, specifically. Actually, I've experienced a little bit of this with 3 different members: Hobie, Jimin, RM. Different in different ways. But with him, with Hobie, it's always around his birthday. And it's always something that is really, really fun, but also puts an idea in my mind to take action on. So think about last year. That's where all these ideas to do the things that we want to do. And then on his concert date, all of a sudden, Airbnb right around the school from where you went to college. Boom. Didn't you get an idea to do something like this on my birthday last year at the Mandalay Bay with your friends? I'm sorry, y'all. It's not coincidence. Not for me. because he always gives me the motivation to do it. That's the thing. It's never just a passing thought. Oh yeah, that would be so nice, huh? I'm gonna be like, oh, this is mine to do, huh? And it's almost like I can hear be like, yeah. Why you think I'm your bias, baby? What I'm over here doing right now, I'm working. So what you need to do? Like, and of course, like he became my bias watching that documentary where he was preparing Jack in the Box, and he was working. And that's what he does for me. He catalyzes me into action. I'm gonna give you something fun, but it's supposed to be there to help you take responsibility of something that you wouldn't otherwise want to do. I'd just be like, oh, that's a nice idea. And now a year later, here I am. And tonight, I was hoping Josie and the other person I had in mind for this Airbnb experience in LA were going to come in the room, because that's what I got to work on. Like, I have responsibility to make that happen. So that was my Hobie Day last year. And my Hobie Day this year was, finally feeling like I manifested D'Angelo and taking on the responsibility of what was set up last year, which was technically set up the year before when he became my bias watching the documentary. It's just like this story and I became building. It keeps building. And before he became my bias on his birthday, it was his birthday that put me at the party that made me be like, the only thing that can make this better is if BTS was here. And 3 days later, PTD was announced. So when I tell you it's it's consistently getting more and more, in depth. And like that first year, it was like, okay, I'm gonna do all the work. I'm gonna come to you. Just make sure you know, I didn't even have to fight for tickets. He let me be the passenger princess that year. He was like, I'll even give you a year with Jimin. How about that? Throw that in for you. So when I tell y'all, when you're treating them just like little fantasy playthings, little, astral, sex toys. Yeah, I said it. You're playing yourself. You're playing yourself, like, for real. Like, they're actually here to do way more than just that. Yeah. Way, way more than just that, because they connect to you on such a deep level. The mechanisms that's making us feel this intimacy with them is there to be as influential to us as the ancestors, as angels, as spirit guides, as God, okay? As divine interventions into your life. So when you just treating them like, my photo card came in the mail, and oh my God, my shimmy plushie. Wasteful. Wasteful. And they pay the cost. They pay the energetic cost. Yeah. Energy has to go somewhere. So if you're just getting fat off the energy of feeling good because BTS is making you feel good, and they paying the cost. And that's why they be looking out stressed out. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's my Hobie story. I'm going to stick with it. I expect by this time next birthday, he needs to make his way in town, because we got some stuff to do in this classroom. Thank you. And that's my story. I'm sticking with it. It's been working for me for the last 3 years. Do you have anything similar with your bias?
I don't think anything as like structured as like yours, like every year type of thing. It's more like whenever there's something that I am not working on or I'm afraid to work on, like I'll like hear his song and it'll just like trigger me to be like, yeah, I should probably face that. Or like I'll see a video of him or something. You know what happened with that video you post on your stories? So weird.
What?
I was gonna post the one where he was like having that little interview and you were like, people don't be paying attention to what they're saying. He says something that was in my mind. Like I was thinking about making a reel, and he says something like, it doesn't matter if like your darkness is light gray or dark charcoal. And that line was literally in my head like the day before.
Wow.
And I was just like,
oh, you ear hustling.
I was like,
mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna do it.
That
I think that's it for me. It's like more like he's like, you're supposed to be doing this, but you're not doing it, and you're scared to do it. So let me give you a little push.
Well, you honestly, if you already have that kind of bond with him and you want to start experiencing something special on his birthday, you need to just start saying, I want to experience something special on your birthday. March 9th is coming up very soon. Thanks. And
yes,
like put the attention out there, because I think for me, where a lot of this comes from is a lot of my own energy is that I like to be treated by my man. I expect to be treated by my man. It is an expectation and a standard operating procedure. Any man who wants to be in my life. So I think because I'm automatically in that space of expectation, somebody who is obviously like a placeholder right now for that person who is supposed to be like holding the energy of that until that person materializes, and they're materializing very soon. So I can stay in practice, right? Because so much of our job as the feminine, is to just hold desire, just hold it. And this is what I mean about if you're not accessing the power of them beyond just being your little astral sex toy. I don't know where I got that from, but that was good. Somebody
good.
that down. They're really here. They're really kind of here to help you hold the faith for a romantic partner, right? That's my belief. Now, if you're married, I think that they're there to, you know what? I can't speak to that. I think different married women utilize them in different ways, and maybe that's all they do need to be, right? Is the astrals. But in the case of a single woman who still wants partnership, right? They're here to keep you from drying out. Okay. And not just physically, but to not dry out your skills and your allure as the feminine. So it would make sense that once I became aware that J-Hope was my bias, I would start getting back into the practice. You know what I'm saying? And keeping my own feminine juice and what my expectations are with him.
Yeah.
So it could be a sign that you might not have been, you know what I'm saying? That standard has kind of fallen off because it's been a while in real life or whatever. But come on now, it's Yoongi. Like it's him. It's
and it's probably also because I think only recently I've really connected to like him being an archetype for like a partner.
He absolutely is that.
He is that for me. And I think I don't know why I'm just like, y'all know how I am about Yoongi, but like it only just now like really settled in like, yeah, that's his place.
Let's talk about that, because that is strange to me, because it's really clear that that's what they are here to do, right? Like I started off with Jimin, okay? And I think I needed him to really understand how powerfully that they really are operating in that mode, because now this is how my connection with Jimin is different than J-Hope. I wasn't putting a whole lot of demands on Jimin because Jimin was giving me everything I needed. And all I needed was that emotional tenderness, that being held energy. And I remember there would be times in my bed that I would almost could visualize this person laying in this bed with me. And I'm like, boo-hoo, crying. Oh, God, Jimin, it was just so bad. And it just hurt me so much. I knew then who he was when I was doing all that. Do you know Like it was just clear. And it wasn't like I didn't have a real human being at the time to help me with that, but that person was also distant.
Yeah.
And he wasn't Jimin either. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't a Libra. Okay. So that's when it really connected to me. And I think it was the first time I allowed myself to not think it was weird, only because it was so helpful. It was so beneficial. It kept me from so much unnecessary just angst and neuroticism and all the things you usually go through during a breakup. And I was like, "Oh, that was helpful. Oh, thank you, Jimmy." Like, I think I love you. Like, that's how you feel about them. And so I think that's when I was like, nah, this is real. That's just the power of human connection, especially through like hyper intimate media, media, right? Like the fact that you can access them at any time, you can go to that video, you can go to that song, you can go to that image. And I was just like, this in a way is like, it's a surrogacy kind of thing. He's a surrogate, what I need. But I didn't, everything I needed from him, he gave me. And once I was finally like, I'm better, here come Hobie, right? And now I'm more back into I've come home to myself. I'm remembering who I am. You know what I'm saying? He's helping me remember who I am. And now I was able to shift right back into that. Nah, if you my man, you're going to have to come with something. Give me something for your birthday. How about that? Not even my birthday, yours. That's something I would say. You know what I'm saying? No, I want something from, because guess what? My gift to the masculine on his birthday is my presence, right? So I'm being a gift to you. You could be a gift to me, right? So I'm preparing myself for that in real life so that there's no mistake in my mind of who I am as a woman. So I'm going to challenge you to create an expectation and intention for him to do something for you on your birthday. Yes. All right. Okay. I think we talked about everything. Yes. I feel like, did I hit every point? I can't look at my, actually, I'm going to go off of Instagram since I've promoted enough. And I'm going to look at our text message. What else did I say we should talk about? Yeah, I feel like we talked about it. Hobie's birthday, what happened this year, what happened last year, and how your connection to them can help bolster your own magic, your own reality creation. I guess I could put a question to the group. Like, have y'all ever considered how becoming a fan of BTS, choosing somebody as your bias? Maybe some of y'all haven't gotten there yet. Maybe it's not that deep for you, but can you see how what we're saying can be a real productive thing in your life? You know what I'm saying? Like, I've talked to so many people, Yoongi fans, RM fans, Jimin fans. I don't have as much experience with Jin fans, so I don't know how it works with him, but I'm sure that there's a version of this. Never really talked to this with a V fan, but I'm sure there's a version of this. Never really talked about this with a Jungkook fan, but I'm sure there's a version of this where they feel that they have some kind of extra, like almost telekinetic, extra special something with them. Now, the one that I've heard the most is how they show up in your dreams. And we know how they show up in certain dreams. And I'm not even going to say that that's not related to what I'm saying here.
Craziest thing is Yoongi doesn't show up in my dreams that much.
Okay. Is there somebody who does? It's JK, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. I hope he don't show up in my dreams. Jimin don't show up in my dreams.
Yoongi shows up in my dreams in like JK shows up in my dreams in very lustful ways, And then Yoongi shows up in my dreams in very like comforting ways. Like we're not usually doing anything, you know?
What you
It's
want to
more
be doing.
yeah.
Interestingly
that's
enough.
also maybe why I had never really thought about him as like an archetype for a partner, because like in my waking life I will see edits of him and stuff and I'll be like, well, that's my man. But then when I'm dreaming, he doesn't really give that. And maybe it's because I had a certain idea of what that's supposed to look like.
Yeah.
In my mind. But it wasn't really connecting.
Yeah, as your
what
like your man. Or like your archetype for a man. Okay, so this I'm always take it back to this. They're all one. There's sub archetypes of the archetype. Just like there's different prophets that come to earth to be ambassadors of the divine. Okay. But they're all one. And I had to come into that understanding. And some of y'all might be there and some of y'all not, but I know it for myself. Okay. You can't be an omnipresent, omniscient, omnipotent God and not be able to do that. You see what I'm saying? Like you can't. You've already disqualified yourself if you're not able to be that multiplicitous for all of your children on this earth. So, and they sing about this a lot and talk about this a lot, and then they got them tattoos together, right? And then they say we are part of it too. So there's the archetype, like this just ideal man, that all the perfect man, right? That they all of their different traits all come together, and you literally have pretty much everything you need in all 7 of them. There really ain't nothing too much missing, except nothing they can do about for me, which is be more like my oat bias. And ain't nothing they can do about that, right? But all together, they pretty much, you got everything covered. I mean, you got somebody cooking for you. You got somebody putting it on you, at least a good 3 of them, I'm gonna say, maybe 4. You got somebody who can dress you. You got somebody who gonna talk to you, hug you, cuddle you. You got somebody who gonna clown you, check you, put you back in your good mind because you tripping. You know who that is. Y'all think I don't love him, but I do. He's a Sagittarius. Hello. You got everything you need, right? But then there's this sub archetype for different, and I think it is for me, it's been like different seasons. So like I said, I needed Jimin first. I needed to get the emotional healing that I needed from him that only he can give, right? So I think it's just another avenue into your subconscious. Dreams are just another avenue into your subconscious. It's not that means the one that shows up in your dream is more or less special than the other. I think you have to pay attention to the messages, especially when they're not just carnal, that any one of them are giving you at the time. For me, it was RM. RM is the only one who consistently shows up in my dream. Now, in order to get my attention, there's always some carnality mixed in. There's been very few dreams where that wasn't a part of it. And then there was a time that he literally showed up in a series of dreams that all made sense. And he was just giving me some downloads at the time. Honestly, he was the one. This is interesting because just like J-Hope is the one putting me to work pretty much, like the way he worked, his work ethic. RM was like, oh, you're getting into that mode of other army where you start to just use us as your replacement to the real desire, which is a real mate. And I'm here to remind you, that's not what we're here to do. And so he really started triggering my actual desire for partnership again. He started in the dreams making me feel sensations that I like to feel in real life. And I would wake up and be like, no, I need to have that in my life again. I can't lie to myself. And this dream ain't going to be enough. And that's what also he did. He stopped showing up. Like, don't be getting used to me coming in this dream and fulfilling that need for you, because it's not the same. And ever since then, which has been about a year ago, maybe a little longer, I haven't been able to lie to myself about the desire for a partner. So that's how thorough this thing is. That's how significant it is that they'll show up however they need to, whether they're just, showing up online or in a song or in your dreams. But let me see. Nikki says, none of them show up in your dream, but they show up energetically in real life situations. Namjoon and Hobie, let's think about it. They have mastered the airwaves. Hybe through BTS. Airwaves are going through your body at all times. They're going through us right now. The reason why I preach against Delulu is because Delulu is a form of distortion that keeps the channels and the waves that are coming through you clogged up with junk. So when you have a clear channel, they can just start sending you messages right on the spot in real life. Yeah. Like kind of those like, what would Hobie do? What would RM do kind of things. Or in your dreams, or in the music, or just scrolling, or on a freaking license plate. You can attune yourself to the frequency of BTS. And it's not a one-way radio. And that's the part that I'm really trying to preach to everybody.
Yeah.
But you can't even understand that if you're still pedestalizing them as if they're up here, you're down here. As soon as you know that it's like this, now the signal, which is why I'm like, I don't know what's going up. It must be divine. That's some of this ain't my business. Some of this is God's business. But I literally was sending the signal to Hobie, sending it. I need you in Vegas. I need you in Vegas. I need you in Vegas. And he's like, nah, you got to go to LA. So now I'm like, oh, shoot, what's in LA? And now I know it's something important. I'm walking into that city with expectation. You see what I'm saying? It's a two-way radio here. And this is why we pray for them. Because you ain't getting this if you don't give nothing back. And money is not it. Money is transactional. Spirit, divine don't work by fiat money as much as the world system does. Now, money is still a necessary tool, but it's not more than that. And when any institution tries to make your relationship to someone else more than that, it's going to be some wonkiness there. There's going to be some distortion. There's going to be some ego involved. There's going to be a lot of stuff getting in the way of what this really is. Right? And once you clear all that out, I have every expectation, as you know, to have an experience with Hobie in LA that blows my mind. Right? Because my channel has been clearing up enough for me to be like, yeah, we can pull that off. We can pull that off. But if I was still in, oh my God, you know,
yeah.
You don't even know that that's a thing. You're not even aware. Your level of awareness doesn't even, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't even take you there because you've turned it into just that transaction. Yeah. So that's the way it's gonna be. But for as long as it's gonna be. Christina says JK shows up everywhere. Oops, I picked the wrong thing first. JK shows up everywhere for me. I don't even be looking for him. Have you gotten a sense of what the message is when he shows up? Because I mean, showing up obviously is what he does. You could go on Instagram right now, he gonna be there. That's what I mean is like, what are the specific scenarios that you felt like, wow, he was really dropping a message to me that I needed, or it's just making me think a little bit more deeper about something. It's like a call to action, a clarion call, a wake up call. You're missing something. You're not paying attention. It's like he's pinging you to pay attention. I remember just the first time I finally start listening. I didn't like the song More. It didn't do nothing for me. I liked Arson. But then I finally listened, and now I'm like, oh my God, that is my clarion call. I had to do it the other day with D'Angelo. I literally put the instrumental of More underneath the story that I said, this is cool, but this ain't what I really want. He makes sure I don't play myself. He makes sure that I honor my own desire, that I stay in integrity. It happened with him in this concert. What did I say? Where did I say I wanted to be for the Hobie concert?
In the suite.
I wanted a sweet experience. That's what I want. I ain't had one in a long time. And when I had one, it was at a basketball game. And listen to all the collective energy. If I hadn't had boundaries that I know how to protect myself from that, I would have been like, oh, I guess I should just get what I get. Oh, right? It's gonna be crazy. No, I wanted a sweet. You know, last year, this time when D-Day, there was this girl named Rochelle. I wonder if she gonna Rochelle. Should I do Hobie in the suites? My channel is clear, and I'm just trying to get clearer and clearer, and guess what? It's getting easier and easier and faster and faster. And that's a part of it too, which I think is something I don't usually articulate, but I think it's important. Watching them, being a fan of them, feeling like you are in soul family with them, feeling like they're your equal, which is really hard for people to do. Look at how fast they reached the top of their success in comparison to lots of other people, right? I look at poor She Rose, my little one. I'm going to post the stories of that one day. I know it was around Valentine's, I think 2 years ago, because I just remember that. He's still playing the same songs from 2 years ago. The brother is over there struggling. And if I didn't have any interaction with anybody other than BTS but him, I wouldn't have known how hard it is. But it's really hard to make it in K-pop. It's really hard to make it in the music industry. So when you're a fan of this group in particular, you now have a viable, tangible knowing that things can happen quicker for you than other people. Maybe not quick, because I know that they wouldn't feel that, but quicker for you than normal. And that's where they give you the capacity as you're watching them adjust and make space for success and growth. And you know that they are taking a lot of burden on themselves. It's still letting you know it's possible. Now, I don't want the BTS version. As a woman, I'm willing to go a little slower just to not be as overwhelmed and burdened the way they were. But at least I know it's possible to pick up the pace, you know? So they really activate so much. No, they activate so much of your remembrance of your own magic, of your own power. And when you treat them just like they're the star and you're just the lowly little fan, it's just such a waste of like a really powerful connection. And that's all I'm here to do, is encourage people to just deepen into the power. Why were they drawn to you? Not just why were you drawn to them? That whole debate about, did your bias pick you? I don't like people saying, oh, my bias picked me. You're putting yourself in a state of powerlessness that's not necessary. You could say, we picked each other.
Yeah.
I chose him and he chose me. You don't gain anything from making yourself the victim or less than or inferior to them. Only person who gains from that is HYBE and the shareholders. They're the only ones winning, because BTS, the burden on them of you being a victim is too heavy. That's why they didn't sing all the songs to help your asses love yourself, because they want you off of their back. Baby, please love yourself, because I can't love you for you.
Yeah.
I mean, song after song after, I've never heard this many songs on the same topic by any artist ever.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I know they really like, it's a cry for help. Like, well, y'all, please love yourselves. They give you a blueprint. Sharon says, it's been fascinating to watch how quickly they manifested for them. Ooh, they have been picking up speed. RM in that documentary. Hobie. I mean, because we really got to watch Hobie like go from the third best rapper in the rap line. I'll say it, okay? The third best rapper in the rap line, because it's more of an energy thing. Like it just wasn't as authentic, right? And now I'm like, go somewhere. I kept on saying I can't take him. Like when people was just hopping on his jock so fast, I was like, hold on, slow down. I'm not used to all this. I'm not used to this. Let me really drink him in. And this came up in our group chat. Him and Kendrick Lamar right now. Mm-hmm. It's absolutely meaningful, Christina. This man ain't stupid.
No.
If he was a little slow, like anybody. Now nobody. Slow like nobody at all in BTS. I'd be like, oh, it's coincidence. But J-Hope
know what he's doing.
I'm trying to see if she caught it.
Oh, poor baby.
You know, the masterpiece maker. The one out here making masterpieces.
The one out here making masterpieces.
Y'all thought I was gonna let that go? Oh no, I'm never letting that go. Never let you go. The masterpiece maker. Maybe if it was him, I'd be like, okay, coincidence. J-Hope? No. I don't know. It's too much on the line for him right now. She got it. It's too much on the line, okay? It's too much on the line energetically. And then, this is what they've all mastered, in my opinion, including JK. They know how to do stuff slick because they know that Hive will appreciate it because it still hits their bottom line. And that's all they care about. Oh, yeah, I'm going to be playing a lot of Kendrick because, Super Bowl. Oh, yeah, go for it. Mm-hmm. Just like what Kendrick did. I'm going to be on Super Bowl. I'm about to hidden messages just for the people.
Yeah.
Just for the people who need to. And this is, okay, the reason why I know it was intentional, it's the numerous songs. Like when I heard the first one, I was like, okay, Super Bowl. Then he did it again. Different song. Then on the live. Now, I think someone asked him a question, but he could have skipped that question.
He could
have seen it and just, he's making a point to align with the energy of this moment.
Yeah.
And I think maybe before his transformation, I think maybe it would have gone over his head a little bit more than an RM or a Yoongi. But he also has an RM and a Yoongi. If there is ever a question. Yeah, like if there's ever a question, like that they trading group text, like, should I do it? Should I do it? Gonna do it, yeah. Because they ain't gonna care and they ain't gonna know. But I feel like they're always sending signals and messages to those of us, just like I feel about Beyonce. I felt this at Renaissance, where she was like, if you are my true fan and you really can hear my heart, this is for you. Okay? I'm sending an undercover hidden message because I can only do so much in my position. When you are too big to fail, you are in a prison. Okay? But you, as an artist, your inner child that just longed to be a performer, that wanted to be an artist, you still want to make sure you're in the level of a Prince and a Michael, sending signals out to your people who can pick up the messages.
Yeah.
And this is obviously where the rap line for sure is. They over K-pop. But they got a contract and they got to do what they got to do. And they not stupid either. Because we're not just talking about money being lost or bridges being burned. They're so big that we'll start hearing stuff about family members getting missing and crazy stuff. Like, this is not a game. This is billions of dollars. So they just have to maneuver, you know? And V is good at doing it too, you know? And he know how to take a hit, take a L. Like, they gonna spank my hand for this, but I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
J-Hope tends to be on the smarter side and can do it without even being detected.
Yeah.
It's Kendrick, it's Super Bowl. But my real fans know I ain't with this K-pop shit like I used to be. He was the main one at the Festa dinner. Like, Jimmy kept on saying it. He was like, and J-Hope, we know he's been wanting to do this for a while. J-Hope was over there like, shut up, Jimmy. What my business? I'm just trying to do this my way and still make high pay for everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, the reason I know is because I be thinking the same way. Like, how can I work the system? How can I still work at this school district, make sure I have all the resources I need, and still teach these kids critical race theory? And I ain't even said critical race nothing.
Yeah.
Because I sure don't trust nobody else to teach it. This is how people like us think. We know how to slip some stuff in underwears.
Yeah.
I absolutely trust. Let me see. Backseat freestyle though, bro. What you talking about?
Kendrick's Backseat Freestyle.
Oh, is that the one?
From Kendrick's earlier mixtapes, and Hobie was like singing to on his live.
That was the one he was doing on his live?
That's how I know it was real, because he was like, yeah, I really liked all of Kendrick. It gave like Backseat Freestyle, and I was like, I see you.
You can't listen to hip hop that long and still be dumb too. You know what I'm saying? Like, once I started taking hip hop seriously with the Jay-Z and Nas beef, the nuances, the energy of the moment, like, I was very attuned to that beef and really understood the consequences of it. You would have to really be an idiot, like a real idiot, to like be like, the people who just think it's about Drake.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, this is what you have to kind of do. Like, make it about him so that I could put all this other stuff in it. Mm-hmm. So those people will just be stuck on the Drake thing, and the other people are getting the real message.
We'll get what they
I always say it's the FUBU hat at the Gap commercial. Do y'all know that reference when I say that? This is an old reference now. But y'all remember the clothing line FUBU, For Us By Us. When they first came out, well, I don't know if it was when they first came out, but one of the first advantages that they gave themselves marketing wise was LL Cool J was hired. You know how Gap every year would do these commercials, and it would be like celebrities, and they would come, you know, I would feel like around Christmas they would do like a new group of celebrities wearing Gap stuff. LL Cool J in the Gap commercial wore a FUBU hat. It just had the FB. Okay. And then in the rap that he's rapping, he says, for us, by us. And then he just mixes it with something else. Every Black person was like, did he just promote FUBU in a Gap commercial? Oh, like, what? What's going on? And I swear that commercial, it was there, and then they did a shortened version of it. Now, you can get on internet arguments to this day, and white people don't never want to give, and people who don't respect Black people being geniuses, they don't ever want to give us him credit for doing that. They're like, oh no, they had to have known.
No.
Because one, the FB of FUBU, it just looks like a little squiggle if you really look at it. And he might have just said, oh, this is just my, whatever. He probably said whatever he has to say. But it was when he said, for us, by us in the lyric, we all picked up on that. That is an element of Black culture. Did you ever get to watch Harriet?
Yes.
Y'all see how they do it? That's where we get it from. They singing songs, go down to the mountain, go down to the river. They think they just singing spirituals. She telling you, meet me at the river because we about to go. Mm-hmm. And this is what I've been saying on my page. Y'all got to learn how to speak in code. Bangtanese is its own code. This is a code right here. If I say OT7 and someone walks in this room who don't have nothing to do with K-pop, nothing to do with BTS, are they gonna know what an OT7 is?
No.
Codes. This is how people transmitted ideas across distances to radicalize and revolutionize. Like, this is what is required. So you can't be someone listening to hip hop for a decade or more and not pick up on this, not be a fangirl to J. Cole. Just, oh my God, Hobie meeting J. Cole is like.
I love that. I love it so much.
He really turned into a fangirl for real. And in the song that he told J. Cole, he was like, that song? It's cold. I've been listening. It wasn't Butter. It wasn't Dynamite. It wasn't You're My Hope.
It was both ways, because when he first met J. Cole, he mentioned J. Cole's very first mixtape, and J. Cole was like, oh, he was really listening. That's why he got that feature.
That's how he got the feature.
That's how he got the feature.
And whatever he said to Erykah Badu, right? Like, Erykah Badu on a K-pop album. It's probably some Americans that wanted Erykah Badu on an album, and she was like, nah. I don't know what RM said, but he said the right thing. You know what I could see him saying? Like, I really just love that whole, era of you with the Roots and Jill Scott and that Philly sound. He just speaking the language. He's speaking the language. You speaking the language. And right now, who knows why Hobie's listening to Kendrick? I'm gonna have to do the same thing I did with him.
He's gonna be like, yeah, I listen to Backseat Freestyle, Kendrick.
As a matter of fact, the evidence is on the live that I did on my birthday, 2025. Go check it out. It's right
there.
Receipt.
See? I was even singing it without.
I was putting people on Kendrick. I know it. Girl, they didn't K-popify Kendrick. Did you see the videos that I put in the
K-popified Kendrick?
Kendrick is so he gonna have photo cards soon. He gonna have photo cards before Megan.
I think Megan already has photo cards.
She does. That's cute.
I think so.
She needs her own. She does. And now this thing, and this is the other thing, because the powers that be have found out that if you put a feature, Lotto and JK, now is what Doechii and Jenny, they pimping it. They they about to pimp this out. Yes, so an artist who cares about their art, okay, go ahead, because now I get to connect with someone on an artistic level that I might have not had.
Exactly.
And I'm gonna deepen my craft and deepen my appreciation and deepen my connection. What you just caught a vision of? Who and who?
So, because I was just thinking about JK and Usher's collab, right? Because a lot of people are talking about how, Jimin would probably be mad about that, because Jimin was always the one talking about Usher and about his favorite songs, but JK got the collab. And I'm like, J-Hope is doing all this with Kendrick, and you know I want a Yoongi and Kendrick collab, and that just fell in my spirit. And I'm like,
he could be talking him up for that. Also, dang, when you said that, you know how we feel about Jimin now. Jimin was probably like, go ahead. Because he probably was like, sound like a lot of work to me. Jimin would have been shaking in his boots doing something with Usher. And that's what I will give JK. He bold. He bold. He ain't scared. JK ain't scared. He gonna do it. And then listening to Steezy. I used to watch those videos all the time. I didn't know they had so many new ones. Mm-hmm. Hearing Brian talk about Jungkook, and he was like, he be working so hard. Like we gotta I could tell they like, whoo, he gonna make us work, you know, like he's not afraid. Uh-huh. He's not afraid of hard work. He's not. And I think it's similar to J-Hope in that he gets energized the more he does, you know, and it empowers him. But yeah, you just never know. You just never know. And what I do know is that they are one. So yes, they're always, look at what Suga did with Suchita. You know, we're going to set each other up for success, which is also the model for us when I talk about community.
Yes.
You see it? You see the blueprint for that. When you think about someone like me and Tashi, what we're doing right now, me, Walia, Jackie, you branch out and you boost each other. You branch out, you boost. You branch out, you boost. Mm-hmm. Right? So
yeah.
When I tell y'all BTS is, you know, they really are the blueprint for so many things. Mm-hmm. Spiritual things, business things, friendship blueprint, you know. Wasting it on Delulu is just, it's just too wasteful. It's just so, and it's not sustainable.
Yeah.
It's like after a while, I feel like a lot of ARMY are participating in fan activities just to belong, not because they're getting the same enjoyment out of it. Because it's not something that's supposed to just be sustainable for forever. It's called pop for a reason. Very similar to popcorn.
Yeah.
You pop it in your mouth, it satisfies you for the moment, and in 2 hours, you're going to be hungry again. It's not for you to ride on the life raft of BTS for forever.
No.
At some point, you hop off. You be like, thank y'all. I love y'all still, but I'm about to build something for my life that's sustainable for me, that does not ride on your energy. Because, my God, the Korean problem that does not go away.
Yeah.
That when it slows down, I'll be like, okay, I just pray that the next one don't be someone I love. I just pray and protect and keep their minds God and keep their spirits strong and don't let no hurt, harm, or danger. Because it's not going away. It's just, and people get on the internet and just start saying the same things. Oh, people need to stop doing this, and people need to. What should you be doing? Because you can't control what other people do.
And it's not all on the businesses and the entertainment industry. It's you too.
And then social media, quite frankly, is successful because of bullies and antagonism and negativity, and to the point that social media changed. And someone like Nikki could probably speak to this, who works in a newsroom. Social media changed the way the news reports. Like at a certain point, it was just like, you know what, we're not going to be able to just cover both angles. So we over here on CNN, MSNBC side are going to focus on this side, and Fox News is going to focus on that side. And then we'll just let our constituents just fight over who's right on the internet.
Yeah.
And it serves both media.
It's no longer about integrity. It's about getting eyes on the screen. It's about controversy. It's about talking and clicking and talking and clicking and making
Chiefs
videos
versus Eagles, Blinks versus Army, versus. You know, Joker versus Batman. Like every story has a good villain hero, and News was like the last bastion, and they was just like F it, you know. So that's gonna always be a part of this realm. So this is what I ask people on my page now. If y'all really support me, y'all see these people coming at me, right? What should y'all be doing for me? Thank you. I appreciate you for a spiritual protection. And I only got a few haters, like these little rinky dinks. Imagine what they got. This is when I knew it was really bad. When I knew it was really bad. When I started getting, now this is when I started getting telepathy with your boy, Sugar. When he was in that situation. He was just pinging it right to my dome. Like, you know what it is. You know what's going on, right? Yep. Nobody else was knowing it. And for a while, I couldn't even say nothing. But when I found out about Jimin giving money to someone who was a crook and he can't pay it back, I was like, they are out here defenseless. Like, we need to strengthen up, because I was just like one of those moments, like, he's fragile and vulnerable to this. And if we're not praying about, Lord, how kind-hearted Jimin is, allow him to have discernment, allow him to strengthen in his no. And you ain't got nobody except maybe your mama and your daddy praying for you like that. We have to be army to them. That's why they called us that. They have to be bulletproof. That's why they called it that. They have to be bulletproof Boy Scouts. That's why they called it that. They're in covenant with each other. That's why they got the blood tattoo. You know what a blood covenant is? That's a tattoo. And any army that got a tattoo with them, y'all should be the main ones praying.
Yeah.
You should be able to look at that tattoo. But how many people you think really doing that? Or they just got the tattoo because I don't know the reason. But I don't need no tattoo to know that I'm in covenant with them. I know I'm in covenant with them for all the darkness that went right past me when it was on its way to me, knocking on my door. It says the devil would like to have you and sift you out as wheat, like a roaring lion. We coming to get her. Not by the hairs on my chin. They didn't let that happen to me. That's who God used for me personally. So, okay, now I'm strong again. Now I got my strength back. All the time. And this is why it's ministry. So, all right, we coming up on that 5 o'clock hour. Let me read some of the comments. This is a little hard. Next time we're going to really figure out how to just let them pop. I know that there's a way for them to just pop up on their own. Nikki says, JK scared of his true voice. Desiree says, I agree with you. He has a lot of potential. Oh, let me put it up. Duh. Oh, I was supposed to put that first. He has a lot of potential, but I definitely feel he's scared to be completely himself. Christina says, yes. Sharon and being anonymous. People say anything that was in reference to the little haters. Yeah, being anonymous gives people a lot of boldness.
A lot of boldness. Because you wouldn't say that to my face.
Hive mind is really easy to fall into. And this is why, and I was having this conversation with someone on my page. The reason I'm always advocating for people to love themselves, and here's your pro tip, love yourself as much as you love your band. And most of the people who I'm really close to online, that's not the issue. But it be some people that I can tell love BTS more than they really love themselves. And when you get like that, that's when you're vulnerable to those populations of people who would prey on you and draw you into their little cult-like behavior. And then you end up participating into some stuff. Somebody said something on another page. They was like, if it's something that I wouldn't want the members to know that I did, then I'm not doing it. Oh, I thought that was so good. Like in relationship to their fandom activities. So if, the day I meet them and I say, yeah, I was bullying people and, spamming people, like that ain't cool, But people who don't actually love themselves, BTS ends up being kind of this addictive, trauma bonded thing, but you're not really working on yourself. And now you're vulnerable to these other people who's coming in with their own agenda to turn your vulnerability into their own egoic boost to feel like they got power over people. That's what bullies do. They like to feel, how do I know this? Because I used to be one. We like to feel like we know we can control other people. Yeah, it's a power trip.
Being a bully, like I've never been a bully, but like being mean to someone has its own power behind it. Especially if you like feel powerless.
Yeah, like but I'm gonna take it one step further. When you're a bully, it's not just the meanness, because I didn't actually enjoy the being mean part. I enjoyed the knowing I could control someone's behavior part. I just like knowing it was okay. And this is why I'm so good at this magic shit now, right? Because I be wanting to see what I can control, right? Like I be wanting to see, can I manipulate? Can I make something happen here? Can I have something to do with something happening? Now, in this regard, it's always positive, uplifting, for the good of everyone, for the good of humanity. But when I was an elementary school kid on the playground, I was just testing it out. And I realized I could literally go say to someone who pedestalized me, because I was a little bit of a celebrity in elementary school, because I was the smartest Black girl at a school in Texas where typically Black kids were not considered the smart kids. So all the Black kids at the school, go Tracy, go Tracy, go Tracy. Every time I would win a contest, so now they were my hive, they were my army, and I would send them off just to see what I could get them to do. And I remember this one time, I was like, I wonder if I could get them to like go, like somebody, made me mad. And now I'm like feeling revengeful. I wonder if I could get them to go intimidate that person. Like, yeah, she said something to me at the lunchroom. I didn't like it. She hurt my feelings. And that girl would be like, oh, I'm going to go talk to her and I'm going to go beat her up. And I'd be like, you will? This works? And then, girl, once I knew it worked, ooh, divine intervention. The assistant principal figured it out. Assistant principal figured out that I was the Don Corleone and I had henchmen on the playground that would go do my bidding. I ain't shamed no more. I don't regret a thing. Them kids should have been stronger. No, I'm playing. But it was a test for me to understand my capacity for influence. And then God had to redirect me into positively influencing people, because my potential to do it the other way was all, and that was my shadow. And, it got exposed early, so it's really not a shadow for me. I know I have. So what I told you the other day when I was at the park, I was like, I hate that sometimes I feel like that side of me shows up in my mind about things. Yeah. And I don't ever want to be that person again. But I be thinking it like, oh God. But yeah, it's something about the enjoyment of knowing you were able to be the catalyst, which isn't the same reason why I be feeling the way I feel about you when you have successes. Like, I'll do it. Oh shoot. Oh yes. So it's just as good of a feeling. It's better. It's a better feeling. But without redirection and without, literally divine intervention, because when you're a kid, you don't know no better. Basically, I got bullied in middle school. That's how God took care of that.
Yeah.
So when it happens, I'm like, oh, this ain't fun. I ain't gonna do this to nobody.
I don't like
So
it.
yeah,
I don't like it no more.
it was not fun when the rabbit got a gun. It ain't no fun. But this is why when it happens to me, now look at the synthesis of that. Now here you go for your workbook. The dark, the wounded, the whatever, the not so good version of me testing my power, now coming into the light version. But now the synthesis is that because I have understanding of both sides, when it comes at me, I'm like, well, come on in, because now I'm about to use it as a lesson for other people. Isn't that something? So yeah. All right. We've talked enough. Is there any last comments? Anybody? Is there any requests for what y'all would like us to talk about? I think we're gonna go back to your story and journey next time.
Okay.
We already talked about the jacket. So we said we were gonna talk about you. Did we already talk about you becoming a professional writer, paid writer?
No.
Yes. That's next. I actually think that would have come first, right? If we were really going back. So we kind of have to, it's fine. We talked about the jacket, but didn't the jacket happen? Okay, so yeah. Paid writer. That's going to be, you're going to have to really remember milestones. Like, we got to find that video. Maybe that's something we can do. We got to find the video where you said, I asked the question or something, like, what is your dream? And you said, I want to, because we got to really track that. Because remember, we was talking about manifesting at a certain speed, and your speed was pretty much probably about a year from the time you said that to it happening.
Yeah.
So we'll be back next week. We're going to focus again on Tashi, the Rightrovert, becoming the Rightrovert. And, and once again, though, like, BTS is so much the catalyst of that as well, because BTS is the catalyst of this friendship. And the fact that they bring the right people together for the right person, right time. Even when they're experiencing the right person wrong place, whatever he said. Whatever he said. What did you say? Say it. Yeah, that.
The right person, wrong place.
They know how to bring together groups of people who otherwise wouldn't connect in shared community to have exactly what we're having right now. Exactly. Where we're sharing wisdom, trading knowledge. This is why I know for sure they're doing it. I know for sure that they're, what you think about this? I'm thinking about doing this. What you think? Yeah, do that. No, don't. They have each other. So we have each other, and we're going to continue to be the like us army who knows how to gain the most power and benefit from being in community, in fellowship, and in family connection with BTS. I'm literally going to start trading up the word fan. It's useful, but after a while, it's not useful. And so much of it is in alignment with my own journey, becoming a fan of music and a fan of musicians, to becoming the musician and becoming the artist. So it's a beautiful thing happening over here. Meet us again on Thursday at the same time, different place, fan base. That's where my filter is even. I have no filter over there, really. You got to join fan base though to experience that. And also Bangtan audio files also on fan base. I love that little audio room. I really want to actually think of more things to do with that space, because it's just, and it's super convenient for me too, because I can move around. I ain't got to be stuck in one place. And So Bangtan Audio Files, also a group chat if you want to join it. It's where members of Army talk about music of all kinds. We always end up talking about BTS.
Yeah.
But we'll start off talking about this week. It's Doja versus Doechii. Start just listening to them at your leisure. And then on Sundays at 5:30 PT, we get on Fanbase and chit chat about that. But anyway, thank you, everyone. It's been real. It's been fun. If you are somebody who's watching this in replay and you have an interest in the Hobie in LA hangout with Professor Bangtan and Tashi, the Rightrovert experience, hit me up in the DM on Instagram. I'm gonna start putting that together. We don't have a whole lot of space, but you never know. It might be destined for you to be there. I just trust that the people who are supposed to be there will be there. Hit me up. It's gonna be a good time. All right. Peace and love, everyone. Bye.